Hello, fellow Spoonies! I am coming to you with some helpful information. If you have a lot of allergies to medications and doctors don't know why, and you just sum it up to MCAS, well, that's highly possible, but it could also be something else. Within your genes are metabolizers that metabolize medications. These are CYP genes. The most common metabolizer is the CYP2D6. And if your CYP2D6 is not metabolizing correctly, then you're going to have a lot of issues taking medication. Another very common metabolizer is CYP2C19. But it doesn't end there. There are other metabolizers within your genetics that help you process medications. So if you are improperly metabolizing medications because of a dysfunction in one of these metabolizers within your genetics, then you are going to have adverse reactions, allergic reactions, heightened side effects, or you just don't have any reactions at all and the medication doesn't work for you and you're sitting over here going, what is happening? This could be the answer. I found this out on accident because I got sick and tired of having all these issues with pills and doctors not believing that that could be the case. They go, it's impossible for you to have this many medications on your allergy list. These are not true allergies. And I'm over here like, okay, if I'm puking my guts up, tearing up the toilet, on the floor, sweating, having chills, sick, that might not be an allergy, but that's a serious adverse reaction. So I don't want to take that medication, and I added it to my list. And then there are medications that give me true allergies, rashes, swelling, anaphylaxis. I've almost died a few times. And I got tired of wondering why. Recently, I was at the ER twice for extreme pain, and they couldn't give me anything because I'm allergic to everything. And I'm over here thinking there has to be options for pain medications for people like me. What are they? And I went on a deep dive, and through reading case study after case study, I found a story of a girl who is just like me. She told doctors, hey, I have a lot of allergies. We need to talk about pain medication for after surgery. They disregarded her. She woke up from surgery in horrible pain, and they had to act fast. She ended up in the neurology ICU where they had to treat her with ketamine in addition to NSAIDs and then slowly wean her off the ketamine and increase the NSAIDs until she was able to leave the hospital on just NSAIDs. That should not happen. I have been in the hospital before where I told them, please do not give me that medication because I'm allergic to its sister, cousin, counterpart, whatever. And they said, yeah, we're going to give it to you anyways, and put me to sleep. I woke up, they gave me the medication, and it almost killed me. They don't listen, and they don't take it seriously, and it's like it's a joke. And I am tired of not having answers. And so through my research, through this story, I find out that this lady has something wrong with her CYP2D6 and CYP2C19 processors, metabolizers in her genetics. So I looked them up and I was like, that's me. I'm allergic to all these medications. I have problems processing these meds. This has to be what I have. So I asked my primary doctor to get the genetic testing for me to find out if I also have a metabolism problem with these metabolizers in my genetics. The only one that was available to her was the CYP2C19. And so I got that testing, and it turns out that I do have issues metabolizing that. But then I was looking into it more, trying to figure out where I can get the testing for the other genetics, and I remembered, gosh, reading all of this sounds super familiar. I think I've had this testing before. Turns out I did. GeneSight did testing to find out what medications I could process for my mental health. This was back in 2019. But I didn't know that this is what they tested me for. I just got testing to find out what medications I could take. And we went through the list of approved medications, and I had issues with all of them. So when I went in and found this list, I see all the different patient genotypes and phenotypes that they tested for and what my results were. So it'll tell you if you're an ultra rapid metabolizer, an extensive or normal metabolizer, an intermediate metabolizer, or a poor metabolizer. And it turns out I'm an ultra rapid metabolizer of one of them, an intermediate metabolizer of 3 of them, and I have an increased sensitivity in my HTR2A gene, which is the serotonin receptor, and that increased the risk of adverse drug reactions with certain selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. At the time, I thought that gene was responsible for why I was having issues with all these mental health medications. But it turns out that the CYP genes were the reasons why I have been having adverse reactions to other medications for years. This information is so helpful because now I can find medications that are not metabolized by my problem CYP genes, and it should be safe for me to take other medications that aren't metabolized by those genes. So I wanted to share this information to anybody else out there who is struggling to find answers and struggling to find meds. You need to get this testing so that you can finally have answers and validation, but also so that you can start finding medications that could work for you. You'll be able to find out if these medications are in danger of giving you allergic reactions or serious adverse reactions, or if they're generally safe for you. Now, that doesn't mean that they're going to work for you, and that doesn't mean that you won't have side effects. Every medication you take can have side effects, but you should feel safe taking medications, and you should have answers for what is happening to you, and you should have the ability to find medications that work for you so that you don't have to suffer. Please look this up. Please ask for this testing. Please go get yourself some answers, and please tell me the stories of how this works out for you.